Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on a lot of the recent articles and news that looks like Toys R Us is probably going out of business. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check this one out from toynewseye.com. Thought I would kind of weigh in and give my thoughts since I love to collect action figures. If you guys have seen, if you've seen my action figure collection, it's humongous, whether it be Marvel Legends, got one here for you, or DC Universe or whatever. Love to collect action figures and really toys too, because I've been going to Toys R Us since I was geez, I don't know, like just a kid, like grade 1, maybe even probably younger, to be honest with you. And not everything is clear 100% right now what's going to happen in the next few weeks for Toys R Us and how things are going to go here. But the recent one is that Toys R Us to wind down U.S. business. I'm here in Canada, and apparently there's some MGA Entertainment possibly making a bid. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. We'll have to see, if it does even continue on in some kind of way, shape, or form in the future, whether it be, a lot less stores than what it used to be. Maybe possibly the new owners just keeping open some of the top performing stores. And maybe the U.S. and Canada, as well as maybe a few in the U.K. or something. We're going to have to see how all the details kind of play out here and what happens with this kind of bankruptcy and everything that they're kind of going through right now. I personally, as I do actually have their R card here, which is fun, and I just signed up for this too, which kind of feels like a waste of time now, since considering it's I don't know how much longer the local store here in the city I live is going to be open, and really I don't think there's any way to tell right now if it's even going to continue at all. The problem is with them trying to find a buyer, or them trying to do this, who's going to buy it right now? That's the tricky part. I mean, on one hand, it's a very reputable, long-running big box store. Like I said, I've been going there since I was just a little kid. Probably a few years old the first time I went to Toys R Us, or maybe even like a year or 2 year old. In a cart, in a baby carrier or something. I don't know, but it's really sad, man, for people that really like the stores and have one maybe in their local city or town. Any of you guys that do, it really kind of sucks. But it looks like they're probably going to be closing down majority of the stores if it's able to stay in business at all. If it's able to stay in business and keep open, maybe just some of the stores that are doing well and that are profitable for the company, then that'd be great. But I mean, the thing is a lot of it operates based on belief, and especially when it comes to sales. And if someone else is going to come in, they're going to come in and buy it. They're going to have to come in and assume all the things that are going on with it. You get into all the legal stuff. You get into all the contractual stuff. And I mean, the problem is, I think at the base level is we're seeing more and more of a shift to online away from the big box stores, which is not a new thing. It's something that's been happening for a long time now, and particularly with toys and with Toys R Us, what you're finding is a lot of the ticker items, you're seeing these go for way higher prices than they used to go. I like to always use Marvel Legends as an example, because here in Canada, this guy right here is, after taxes, $40 CAD, which is about, is it like 30, almost $30 US for those of you guys who are in the US. But to pay $40 for a single, action figure or something is quite a bit of money, considering, and for people to want to collect, or for the kids to want to go and buy, parents, whether or not they're going to be bringing their kids to Toys R Us to buy things, with the prices being so high of how much it's costing to do all this stuff nowadays, which is just a standard. I don't think there's really no way they could reduce the prices. Probably, Hasbro and Mattel have not been doing that great. They've been doing okay at times, but they're not making a killing or anything. So it's really tough to say whether or not it's even going to be around in 5 or 10 years at all. I mean, I would hope that they would at least keep some of the, and I think they probably could, if they could come in and somebody could buy it and come in and decide, like, okay, we're going to keep these top performing stores, we'll close down all the others, we'll liquidate everything, which is what they're kind of in the process of doing now anyway. They're kind of liquidating whatever stock they kind of have left in a lot of the locations. then, maybe they could find a way to make it work. Also, they do have the online site, which I actually do order from sometimes. And it's pretty cool. At least the Canadian one here, from what, ordering it from what I've seen, it's pretty good. And the orders that I placed through have been, everything's been good with that. And the prices are really good and everything. So that's cool. But I think just overall, you've got a lot of competition with Amazon. Like if you look at Amazon stock, I mean, the thing is just, and a lot of that goes on belief too. It's selling at so many times the price to earnings. It's like the cost of buying Amazon stock is huge, but the belief that people have in it to invest and to buy part of Amazon, to buy some shares, and the rate at which it's growing and the service at which they offer, the speed of their shipping and the way you can go on and get things at a price that in terms of going to a store, to have to actually go into a store and buy something is it's really crazy the way they've been able to kind of just take so much away from these brick and mortar kind of old school stores that have been around for a long time, and just the cost, the overhead costs of running and having a big building and all this stuff that goes into that. Really, what we're finding now with online is that a lot of the big box stores are having a lot of trouble competing, and they have to come up with new ways to kind of compete with Amazon and compete with. And then for Toys R Us in particular, I want to say I think the biggest probably shift, and the thing that happened a lot is that you see in the last maybe 10, 20 years, you started to see a lot of the other kind of the Walmarts and the other stores start to include toy sections in them. So they have these small toy cities inside of the bigger box stores, which is really convenient for parents, where they're going to just go to Walmart, they're going to get their groceries, or they're going to get, some clothes or whatever they're going to get, and then maybe they'll go down the toy aisle and they'll pick out like one thing for their kids, rather than making a special trip to have to go to, Toys R Us by itself, and, where it's, but it's kind of awesome, to be honest, because it's just toys everywhere. so you think it's like heaven for kids, right? But then for the parents, they're like, I don't want to bring you there because, number one, you're going to want all this different stuff, and I'm going to have to buy all this stuff for you, and the pricing, is pretty competitive. Like sometimes Walmart and these kind of stores will have, even better prices than Toys R Us can do. And, they'll be there to buy other stuff, and they'll just go down there and they'll just grab something anyway. So it's really kind of sad. I think without the Christmas season, they probably would have been gone a long time ago, to be honest with you. But hopefully there's some way they can kind of set it up to where some of them can stay open and they can survive in some way. But with such a loss in belief from just people in general for this kind of system, I really I'm hesitant to think that anyone's going to come in and want to take that on, buy that and take on all that responsibility to do all that stuff. It really sounds like quite the cluster at this point. And, having so many and the costs involved with everything that's going on with it, it's looking a lot like right now that it's probably going to be gone for good. But hopefully somebody can come in and save it. It's a shame they're kind of online. Shopping hasn't kind of caught up more than it has, and been able to actually keep it afloat and keep most of the stores open. But yeah, it just seems like they're biding time. This has been ongoing for a while now. It's not a new thing, and it's just kind of coming down, closer and closer down. And really, with the demand changing and the prices of the figures and toys increasing, and then more competition online, all these other stores starting to include smaller subsections of bigger box stores where people can conveniently grab stuff rather than making special trips. Yeah, it's really not looking good for them. So it's really sad, man. Really, really sad. You guys can check out the article for yourself, see what you think. And, just kind of want to put my thoughts out there, the way the market's changing and the world's changing for collectibles. And, the other thing, too, as well, that I forgot to mention is that you have so much digital content nowadays and digital, things happening. You can have smartphones where you have so many different apps and games and all this different stuff. And then you have to question, are they going to go to a toy store like Toys R Us to spend, sometimes it could be 30, 40, 50, up to $100 or more to get some kind of cool toy, or are they going to just download, some kind of game or app that might cost like $1 or $2 or free, right? Try to compete with free, right? And they can just have one, device, like be it a computer, a phone, smartphone, or whatever, Netflix, whatever, and it's going to be really difficult for somebody who's selling something physically in a store to compete with that, because people are going to look at it, they're going to say, well, I can buy that for $40, $50, or I can just, maybe I'll just play this game on my phone and I don't have to worry about, earning, be it $40 or whatever to buy, you know, this collectible item or whatever. I'll just, you know, play some kind of, you know, app on my phone or play some kind of game there, and that will be my toy that I play with, right? And that kind of thing. And even with the media section too, because a lot of the Toys R Us's, they had a pretty big media section before. Again, with it all being digital, being able to download your purchases, being able to you know, buy games online with PC, you got Steam and things like this. Are people really going to drive there or go all the way there to go in and grab a box with a game, you know, when you have everything so digital and online nowadays? And the same goes for media with movies and, you know, online, you know, downloading Netflix, these kind of things. Man, it really just all around, it's like, you know, just inch by inch, just really taken away. And it just seems like sooner or later, really, this is going to happen. So I'd like to think there'll always be some kind of place for at least a few of those stores to be around that people would actually want to go to. But it sounds like the costs involved are probably higher than the advantage of being able to go into a store and seeing all this stuff and then buying what you want and paying employees to stay there and help people and all that kind of stuff. So cash people out and everything. So let me know what you guys think, man. I really hope someone can come in and, you know, be their hero for Toys R Us and save the company. But really, it looks like to me, the way everything's changing, and they weren't ahead enough of the curve, I want to say, to really build that online, you know, presence, that it's probably too late. So let me know what you guys think, and leave your comments below. If you like this video, just me kind of give my random thoughts on things that personally I care about, which one of my favorite stores, probably my favorite store, to be honest, to go to my whole life, is probably Toys R Us. I mean, there's no place that's more fun to go to than that. And it's kind of sad that, you know, pretty soon it might not be around. So anyway, that'll be it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. You can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.